got some special stuff on tap for today, folks. I hope you're ready. Let's get started with the show, shall we? Well, hey, folks. How's it going? I'm sorry, there was something on my cup. And welcome, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and this is Livin in Vegas magazine. Thank you, folks, for being a part of the show today. Today, we've got a special segment that we're going to be doing. We've actually got an interview that we're going to be airing a little later in the show, but it should be fun. I had a great time in the to interviewing a really special guest, and so you're going to want to stick around for that. It was Jessica Goody, and she's running for office. So very excited about that. We're also going to be talking a little bit today about the Raiders, some of the contributions that they're doing in town, and a few other things. Okay. Anyways, once again, I'm Sherman Ray, and I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. And let's just get this out of the way, folks. The magazine is out, folks. You can get your hands on Livin in Vegas magazine, and all you've got to do is actually there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can go to our website. You always can go on our website, and it's livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com, and you can always get our magazine. I can always email it to you if you send me your email, and you just send it to info@livininvegas.com. So I'm going to put that up there. Because I know a lot of people are missing our email address. So info at livin, without the G, no G, livininvegas.com, and you can check, and I'll send you that email, and we'll actually send you a PDF copy of the magazine, and you can actually download that, and you'll be very excited about that. Cool stuff that's in it. Also, we're already working on the next issue, but in this issue, folks, the winter issue, our inaugural issue, our premiere issue, you're actually going to be able to check out some articles by really cool people. Victoria Seaman, and Victoria Seaman is actually running for office, so she's a city council woman. And a great article with her in it. Mike and Cherry Tillman, who own Pro Cyclery Las Vegas, talk a little bit about how they got to where they're at today. And they've been in business for, I think Mike and Cherry have been in business now like 30 years now here in the Valley, serving the Valley. And many others, including Dr. Phil is in there, Russ Langer. Oh, so let me tell you about Russ. So Russ, for those of you who don't know, Russ Langer is Langer. Russ is the voice of the sometimes UNLV games, all the time the Aviator games, and Russ was just given another prestigious award. I think he was named Broadcaster of the Year again. I think it's the 11th time Russ has gotten that award. I'm very excited for Russ in that he's been a part of the Aviators. Before they were the Aviators, they were the Stars. They were 51s, and before that they were the Stars. Russ was there then, and he's just the voice. He's just the voice, and and so they've recognized him and said, "Russ, you are the man." And he was very gracious that he gave us an interview for the magazine. So you can read Russ's story in there, which is great. And we actually talked in the magazine about beer, a lot of beer. One of the beer, and we'll be talking a little bit more about it. Oh, as a matter of fact, let's talk about it right now. So we're doing a mixer, and the mixer is at it's going to be over at Tenaya Creek. And Tenaya Creek is located at 831 West Bonanza Road. And we're going to be having a mixer there, which is going to be on February 17th. That's a Thursday, 5:30 to about 7 o'clock. So we're going to be having our mixer there, which will be very fun. I'm looking really forward to having that mixer because the business community really needs it. The business community always needs people to speak into their lives and to open doors and create those touch points. And so we're going to be doing that. It's our first mixer that we're going to be doing. We'll be doing that probably twice a month. We'll be doing some kind of mixer, some kind of thing to get people out of their comfort zone and drinking coffee and waking up. I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm sorry. Sometimes I yawn, and it's not that I'm tired, folks. It really isn't. I'm not tired. As a matter of fact, I went out and got riding this morning, and I shouldn't be tired because I rode quite a few miles. For those of you who are on Strava, I know some of you've heard of Strava before. Strava is a app on your bicycle, and what it does is it keeps track of what you do all the time. So I ride here, it tells you where you've been, it tells you how fast you're going. And so Strava basically told me that I am, they call me the night rider. I'm the night rider. And what that means is basically I ride a lot at night, which is early in the morning. It's not night, it's just dark. Okay, so it's real early in the morning. So I've gotten quite a few records because I ride this particular route to where I'm going. So it tells me how cool I am, I guess. I don't know why I got on that subject, but I did. So I want to invite folks, if you have not been to our website, I really encourage you to go to our website at livinvegas.com. That's livinvegas.com. There's tons of stuff on there. Articles, videos, podcasts, all that cool stuff is on there. You can get event updates. So there's some great events that are going on all the time. We've got those going on. So you can always check that out. Especially now, we're actually adding more and more events there. And really, there's a tab. There's a drop down tab, and all you got to do is check out the drop down tab. Excuse me, I'm looking around the corner here. There's a drop down tab, and in the drop down tab where it says events, you can see all the cool events. So if there's things that you need to check out, that's very cool. For those of you, this might be the first time you're joining us today. A little later today, I've got an interview that we're going to be playing, and it was with Jessica Goody, and she's an attorney in town. She was running for a judge, and so I want you to check that out a little bit later. But before we get that, let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on here in Vegas, folks. So in Vegas, there is a proposed expansion of the 95 or US 95. If you're new to the Valley, the 95 runs basically east-west in the Valley. It does connect us to Boulder City, and then it runs through the city, and it kind of winds its way up north. But it basically runs east and west in the Valley. Well, downtown area, they've been saying, hey, there's a big bottleneck in the downtown area, and we want to alleviate that bottleneck. So they're actually having a proposal to try to widen that. Well, the problem with that is it's going to affect a lot of people. Not just a few people. It's going to affect a lot of people. Matter of fact, the folks from Boyd, they had a meeting last night to talk about it. People from Nevada Department of Transportation were down there, and they were saying, hey, if you want public comment on this, you want, give your say, do show up down there. We're going to leave a link to this. This is important, folks. I mean, this is not, especially if you live downtown. If you live in the downtown area, this is going to affect you. Not just a little bit, it'll probably affect you a lot, because when they start tearing up stuff, they might tear out a building or a road or a bus or a bridge that you have been using for many years, and it might be gone. So they're saying they're looking for a long-term solution to address the aging infrastructure, improve safety and access. Now they're saying that they might put some one-way streets and some HOV lanes, that kind of stuff. But in any event, that is what they're looking at. So you might want to check that out. Metro just brought on 37 new officers. Okay, 37 new officers joined Metro in their latest recruiting class, which is really cool. 35 men, and no, it was 32 men. 32 men, 5 women came from varying backgrounds from Aruba. I love saying that word. Brazil, Germany, Philippines. Excuse me. I'm missing the Jamaican thing. Maybe it was an oversight that they didn't put Jamaica on there. Or maybe that's nobody came in from Jamaica. But they're saying it's diverse. I don't know if you can be diverse unless you have a Jamaican on there. So but it's a new class, and congratulations to you guys. And we support the folks who are have been doing the badge, and we support the badge, folks. So that's really important. Before we get to this, to our interview with Jessica Goody, let's do one more story. Yeah. Oh, so up in Lee Canyon, folks, this is really important. Up in Lee Canyon, I don't know if you knew this. There's an endangered species of butterfly up there. It's the blue butterfly. I know. Yes, it's a butterfly that there is, and we need butterflies. We do. They're really pretty animals. Conservation group and a Southern Nevada ski resort said Tuesday they settled a federal lawsuit that had blocked plans to put in a mountain bike park on steep terrain because it endangered this blue butterfly. And so this is important, folks. Lee Canyon Resorts said the agreement with the Center for Biological Diversity will let it build and open up three mountain bike trails by August at the resort. And this is there's always a balance. There's always a balance. I mean, we've been a city that has been conservation wise, really very conservation wise. There was a report quite a few years ago where there's a snail darter. There's a fish that's about that big, and because there's a fish that big out in the middle of the desert out there, and somebody had been looking around for endangered species, we were not able to. People aren't able to go out in that area because of this snail darter. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Yeah. If you've been here for any length of time, folks, you probably, and I have. I've been here many, many years. Tortoises. We are just very, very good at conservation. Water, because we live in the desert. We just actually did a story on this yesterday on ways that you can actually conserve water. We're just very good about that. In this case right here, they're saying, look, the butterfly, we're going to have to just coexist. Okay. So when you folks are out there and you are you're riding on your mountain bikes, just be careful of the butterflies. Enjoy yourself, but be very conscious of these animals that are out here. So I want to leave plenty of time. So let's do this art. We're gonna do an interview we had with Jessica Goody. Jessica is running for justice in justice court. I think it's District 6, Justice Court 6. And so I did a interview with her just recently, so I'm going to play that for you right now, folks. This is Jessica Goody, and this is my interview with her that we just did. Okay, here we go. Hey, and hi everybody, this is Sherman Ray with Livin in Vegas magazine. On the line right now, we have got Jessica Goody. She's an attorney here in town, and she's going to be running for office, and we're going to do a short interview with her to talk to her about her run for office. Jessica, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. How are you today, Sherman?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you once again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this interview. So you're running for office now. I just noticed that you're actually going to be putting your hat in the ring. What office are you going to be running for?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and to all of your viewers, listeners, and all the ways that they absorb all your content.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited to announce that I am running for Las Vegas Justice Court, Department 6.
Justice Department 6. And so, so what got you into law in the first place? And congratulations, I should say that. What got you into law in the first place?
Oh, thank you. I don't know how to answer that question. It's something that for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be an attorney. I think it goes back to when I was 5 and my mom told me I liked to argue, so I should become a lawyer, and I did.
That's fun. Well, I've got 3 daughters, and they all like to argue, so I'm wondering if they should have chose being an attorney. So that's so you've always had that kind of in you, where you've just kind of felt this, that you had something to say, and you saw, right and wrong, and you wanted to kind of be a part of that.
Yeah, I did. And candidly, I'm not entirely sure I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got into it and I started working in the community and working with law firms and doing things in the legal community, it has given me the opportunity to help people, which is really what I want to do. At its very core, any opportunity I can to help people is fantastic, and this career that I've chosen has allowed me to do that.
I know, it's funny. I've spoken to a lot of attorneys who said the same thing. They, that it really wasn't what they thought. They watch it on TV, but when they get inside the courtroom or they get in the whole process, it's just, it's a whole different thing. So let's talk about that just a bit, and then we'll talk about your candidacy. What has been like the biggest change that you've seen in the justice system in the last few years?
Well, the last few years, as with everything else, has just been turned on its head. So we haven't been doing trials. There was a really long pause with no trials going forward, and then we've kind of started easing back into that. We're actually in the middle of another pause of jury trials that last over a week. And so the wheels of justice, unfortunately, don't move very quickly, and the COVID pandemic has certainly contributed to that. The one good thing I think that has come out of it, though, is the use of virtual appearances in court. I think it's made access to the court a lot easier for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's, and I can understand that too. COVID hasn't just hit the business community; it's hit the justice community also. Here in Las Vegas, have you seen a rise in the number of cases that you're having to look at and the severity, or give us kind of an idea of what that's like here in Vegas?
Currently, yes, and even when I speak with other attorneys in a variety of fields, I practice primarily in personal injury, but when I talk to attorneys in different areas, we've all experienced a huge increase in work. Part of that is we're still kind of playing catch up from the 6 or 8 months that things really kind of slowed down. But part of that is we've had a huge influx of people coming into our community and being able to service them and help them as they navigate the different things in our community.
Yeah, and I tell you, I think I ran for office in 2019, and I remember the amount of people we had here in the city and the projections that we've got for the next 5 years. So you're saying that there's a lot more people here in the Valley, a lot more people that you've got to start juggling. So let's turn the corner a little bit and let's focus a little bit on your candidacy. You've decided now to run for District D. And so give our listeners kind of an idea of what that job or what that position is going to entail.
So it's actually Las Vegas Justice Court, and it's Department 6.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6.
So that's okay. 6s and D's look alike a lot of the time,
I know,
especially in my handwriting. So The Justice Court Department 6 is currently a civil court, meaning it handles lawsuits for money up to $15,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be anything from landlord-tenant disputes, failure to return security deposits, minor motor vehicle accidents, breaches of contracts, disputes between neighbors, anything where somebody is suing another person for money, as long as they're not asking for more than $15,000.
Okay. And I'm wondering, is that the vast majority of cases right now, or is that what in the grand scheme of things? Are we getting a lot of cases for civil, civil wrongs, or give us kind of an idea of that?
I don't know the current distribution between civil and criminal. Justice Court is one of our courts of limited jurisdiction. Our district court is what we call it, is our general jurisdiction court. So it deals with civil cases from $15,000 up to millions and millions. So that certainly has the higher number of cases. But I do know, especially with the eviction moratorium and things of that nature, the Justice Court has seen a huge increase in the number of cases that they've taken on.
Yeah, I bet you it has. So for those of you who are just joining us right now, Jessica Goody's on the line with me right now. She's running for Justice Court Department 6. I got it right now. I wrote it down this time, Jessica. And so filing for your candidacy is in just a couple of weeks. Is that correct?
We actually pushed it out to March 7th is the first day we can officially file.
Okay.
But we are smack in the middle of campaign season, going to a couple of different fundraisers tonight. I'm hosting my campaign kickoff February 2nd at Battle-Born Injury Law. All of your listeners are invited to come on over and meet me. I'd be happy to get to know them and see what I can do for them.
Well, fantastic. And so, and you've got your kickoff coming up pretty quick. So aside from your kickoff, how can people get a hold of you? Because I'm sure people who are listening are going to want to get a hold of you. How can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. You can visit my website. It's www.jessicagoody4judge. You can also email me at jessica@jessicagoody4judge. My last name is Goodey. Also, if you just Google me, you'll find my office on there with all my contact information. Usually you can get a hold of me within about 24 hours through email or phone.
Oh, and I want to apologize for all of our listeners. Of course, somebody drives by now with the loudest motorcycle in the world. But we will leave your contact information, Jessica, so that people can get a hold of you. I want to wish you good luck. And so the election, so your filing is not until March. The election, your primary and then general. Give us kind of an idea of that.
Yeah, so because filing isn't until March, I don't know the number of people that will be in this race with me.
Mm-hmm.
If there is 3 or more, there will be a primary, I believe June 14th, if I remember the date correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top 2 vote getters will go on to the general election, which will be November 8th.
No.
And because this is a judicial election, it's nonpartisan.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody in the Valley who has Las Vegas in their address, not Henderson or not North Las Vegas, I will be on their ballot.
Fantastic. Jessica Goody, folks. Listen, keep your eyes out for that name on your ballot. Jessica, thank you once. I really appreciate you giving us the time, taking time out of your day for this interview. We wish you all the best, and we'll see you on the campaign trail, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of the day.
You too. Thanks a lot. Mic back on. Let's turn my mic back on. So that was Jessica Goody. Thank you, Jessica, for being a part of the show today. So we will probably have, because now we actually have an election cycle coming up pretty quick, we'll be actually bringing on more and more people, and we're not endorsing anybody, folks. We're not endorsing people for office or anything like that, but we do, we do talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events, and we've got an election coming up, and you probably need to know a few of these people. So There was a article that we wanted to talk about. The Raiders have been doing more and more stuff, folks. I mean, more and more stuff. They're actually been they're partnering with Credit One to benefit local charities, and so they're raising a lot of money. The Las Vegas Raiders continue to give back to the community, and they're partnering with Credit One and launched the One for the Community program. One for the Community program. For every successful extra point that was kicked, Credit One donated $2,000 to two local charities, after school all stars and boys and girls clubs of Southern Nevada. And you probably remember that our kicker, Daniel Carlson, was also one of those people who was really had adopted, I think, boys and girls clubs also. So Credit One hosted an event on Tuesday, presented a check to two charities for the season. So how much money did they raise? $100,000 that they raised, $50,000 apiece for these charities, which is just fantastic, isn't it? That's a great thing. In a related story, they were the RTC, which you know is the Regional Transportation Committee. They have they're the ones who run the CAT bus. You know, we used to call it the CAT bus. It's the RTC bus now. But they generally do the yeoman's work. They go around, they kind of run back and forth to get you from here to there. But one of the things they do is they are able to bypass all of the traffic when it goes to the Vegas Golden Knights games, UNLV games, and also the Raider games. So if you've ever gone to a Raider game, you know it is like murder trying to get to a Vegas Golden Knights, or excuse me, a Raiders game. The RTC bus goes right by all the traffic, and it parks right in front. You get off, you go to the game, you come out of the game, you get on the bus, straight back to where you're at. It's one stop. It doesn't make any stops. It goes right to like the M Resort or wherever it might go down south. And so they're doing some great work for the Valley. And so I think they're going to be doing even more stuff, folks. They're not as glamorous as Elon Musk or any of these other guys that are doing some cool stuff. But they are doing some great work for the Valley, which is great. In a related story, the Golden Knights lost. I know. They lost in overtime again. And they lost this time to Carolina Hurricanes 4-3. And they actually had a 2-goal lead and late in regulation on Tuesday night and weren't able to close the deal. Come on, baby. We got to get these guys to close the deal here because we're looking at some championship. That's what we want to see. We want to see the championship. Before we leave, folks, this weekend the Las Vegas High Rollers are going to be playing over at Dula Center. I've got to find that. So we've been posting about this. We've been talking about this. Who are the High Rollers? The High Rollers are our wheelchair rugby team. Okay, our wheelchair rugby team. Love these guys already. If you watched any of the Paralympics last year, you probably fell in love with these all-stars. These guys are just fantastic. I am predicting, and I said this yesterday, I'm going to continue to say it, you keep an eye on our Las Vegas High Rollers, the wheelchair rugby team. They are going to be great. They are actually playing in a tournament this weekend. It's called Vegas Vengeance, and a lot of and they're going to. They started in 2018, I believe. I think they did. Started in 2018, and you're going to hear more and more about these guys as time goes on. I'm going to the game. I'm going. It's I believe it's the 25th. Oh shoot! I'm going to go on our website because I got it on our website. I'll just go to Livin in Vegas. Oh, I've got mine on speed dial. So I can go to Livin in Vegas. So I'm going to go to our website right now. If you want to go to our website right now and you can double check to find out what time the game is. It is, come on, Mr. Computer, before I run out of time here. I'm going to run out of time. And we go over to events, click, and the event is Vegas Vengeance Wheelchair Rugby Tournament. At 4411 East Bonanza the Doula Center. And it is starting on the 24th, which is today. Today. No, it started yesterday, or 2 days ago, through the 26th. Shoot. It's going to starts 9 to 6:30. Actually, no, it's going to be running through Sunday. I think I've got a typo on this. But you can actually go check it out, folks. It should be very cool. Plus, there's all kinds of other things that are going on. The Mesquite Balloon Festival is going on. And then later this month, which is in just a couple more days, Big Dogs Winterfest. Come on, baby. You can go out there to Big Dogs over at 4543 North Rancho. And you can go and check out some cool beers, that kind of stuff. I think that's it. Anyways, folks, we're done. This has been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas Magazine, the podcast. We hope that you enjoy the show, folks. Go to our website, check out all the cool events, especially our mixer, which is coming up on February 17th. This has been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas Magazine, the podcast. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.